Hello and welcome to Healthy California Podcast. My name is Linda Brown and I am the host of Healthy California, where my goal is to help educate you on your daily choices so we can all become healthy. I believe you, your family, your neighbors, and your community are all looking for better ways and simple ways to return to being healthy. There are people out there that have health issues or have family that's going through tough times that seemingly have no answers. It's frustrating. There are questions about health, environment, foods, exercise, and lifestyle that's all overwhelming. And who do you believe? And where's the science behind it? This podcast will unravel the mystery behind being unhealthy and talk about little things we can do in our lives to make positive changes in our health from all angles. To be healthy, we have to have physical health, mental health, environmental health, financial health, social health, and of course, spiritual health. So let's answer some of these questions to get healthy. What good is just listening to a podcast? I will give you resources as well as ways to take steps and make positive changes in your life to becoming healthy. This is a journey, not an assignment, so be kind to yourself. Hello, Linda Brown here. This is actually my first episode, and I'm taking this opportunity to explain who I am, why I'm doing this, and what to expect from this podcast. So I've been a physical therapist since 2004, so that's about, 20 years, and also a certified functional nutritionist since 2019. I'm currently getting my doctorate in functional nutrition as well at American College of Health Sciences. I've been a functional wellness educator. I've had my own physical therapy clinic. I was doing functional nutrition through COVID online. And the reason why I decided to delve more into functional nutrition or just health and wellness in general compared to physical therapy is because as a physical therapist, I was seeing my patients change over the last 20 years. So my patients were becoming more and more medicated and not getting off of their pain medications and just staying in more pain, more chronic pain in general. So, back 20 years ago, we had people that would go through surgeries, they would be in pain, and then take pain medication, the pain goes away over time. That's expected. Now it just seems like there are more people that are in chronic pain and are on pain medication. Pain medication isn't getting them out of pain. And then they're also on a whole host of other medications. Of course, everyone seems to be on high blood pressure medication, diabetes, allergies are increasing, autoimmune disorders are increasing. It just goes on and on. So as a practitioner, I wanted to look more into that. And so physical therapy, I love physical therapy, but there has to be more to it. So that's why I went back to school to be a doctor of functional nutrition. So what is integrative health or functional nutrition? I kind of use those interchangeably, but there is a difference. But I'm more going to explain to you the difference between integrative health, functional nutrition, and conventional medicine or allopathic medicine. So functional nutrition is kind of under the subcategory or the subheading of integrative health. So integrative health is a full body approach to healthcare. So when I say a full body approach, I'm talking about taking all your history, not just where you're at right now with your health, because let's just say I have an autoimmune disorder. How did that happen? Well, in integrative health, we look back all the way to your childhood. We look at the whole body as a system and not just one system. So I'll give you an example. I used to teach anatomy and physiology. In the first week of the very first class of anatomy, I would teach that there is no system in the body that works independently. So then why are we looking at each system independently? The cardiovascular system does not work by itself. We depend on the respiratory system. We feed, the blood to our muscular system, to our skeletal system, to our endocrine system. All of that works together. Another example is our skin. So our skin is called the integumentary system. It's another organ system of our body. And when we have, let's say, a rash on our skin that seems to be out of nowhere, we get something, we put it on our skin, and it goes away. But the one thing that we don't realize is the skin is an elimination organ. So it gets rid of the things from our body, like toxins. And if you have something on your skin, you might be by putting an ointment on it, you might be resolving the symptom of that, but doesn't mean that you are getting to the root cause of why you have that rash on your skin to begin with. And if you think of the skin as an elimination organ, we could be trying to get rid of some toxins. We get rid of toxins through our breath, we get rid of it through our urine, through our bowels, and through our skin. So that's the kind of thing that integrative health does. We look at the whole body. We look at all the organ systems as a whole. We look at your childhood experiences, from way back when you were little to now. Even your childhood experiences affects you today. So an example, we call them adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, ACE. When you were a child, you may have been exposed to something that was traumatic. It could have been something you experienced. It could have been something that you saw, and it left an impression in you that you are still dealing with. We don't necessarily address that particular issue, but we might send you to a counselor or a psychiatrist, psychologist, because it makes a difference and because it matters. So start building that team of practitioners to help you get through whatever it is you're trying to heal from. So that's what integrative health does, is we look at the whole body and we address all of that, because it all matters from the time you were a child to now, and every aspect of your life, it all matters. And in this podcast, I will be explaining how that matters. So that's the difference between integrative health and your primary care physician. I'm not trying to Your primary care physician is, so I think that we put a lot of pressure on our doctors because we expect them to know everything, and that's just not possible. They specialize in certain things because there's just too much to know. So if you're not getting what you were hoping for from your doctor, it's not your doctor's fault. It just means you need to add someone to your healthcare team. So, when I talk about a healthcare team, it could be your nutritionist, your functional nutritionist, maybe your massage therapist, acupuncturist, physical therapist should always be there. Maybe it's a counselor in addition to your doctor. It could be a whole team of people that needs to be helping you and communicating with everyone else so that we can get you to where you need to be healthy. And everyone's different. So everyone's going to have their team is going to look a little bit different, every single person. So that is why I got into functional nutrition, because the body is a whole and the body is fascinating. Thank you for listening to Healthy California. I hope you learned something today. Treatment and healthcare should be proactive and preventative. So getting to the root cause of a disease or illness is so important. The U.S. has a good trauma medicine design, which means you see a doctor when there is already a problem. Let's beat disease before it happens. This podcast represents my opinions based on my research and education and is not intended to be used for medical diagnosis or treatment. It is not a substitute for your doctor or any healthcare provider. I provide education only. If you are looking for more answers or have questions, you can find my contact information in the show notes, or find a functional nutritionist or functional medicine practitioner to add to your healthcare team. In order for me to continue providing this free information, I depend on you to follow, subscribe, tell your family and friends about this podcast. Make sure you set your notifications to let you know when a new podcast is published. In addition, I can't do anything without my sponsors who I have personally vetted and highly recommend. I would never have a sponsor that I don't agree with or wouldn't use personally. I want you to gather as much information as possible in order to take back your health. You can do it, and I want to help you get there.